What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So as we are all aware, Desmond Bane was traded on Sunday on Father's Day to the Orlando Magic. Yesterday we did the Desmond Bane rebuild on the Orlando Magic. It made sense for what they were trying to accomplish. But we got to talk about the other side for the Memphis Grizzlies. What does this mean for them? Because you just traded away one of your players, part of your big three, and now you're kind of in a position where you could either pivot to a rebuild or you could pivot to try to add next to Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson. Those questions I'm sure will be answered this offseason, but right now, as I'm recording this, I feel like no one truly knows what's going to be next. So let's go ahead and jump in. Since we did the Desmond Bane Magic side, let's do the Grizzlies side of this trade and do this rebuilding the Grizzlies after they have traded away Desmond Bane. Before we get in today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 50,000 subs. You want to help us reach that goal? That would be amazing. But again, as we all are aware, Desmond Bane was traded to the Orlando Magic for 4 picks, a pick swap, Cole Anthony, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So, obviously, we know what the Magic were trying to accomplish. They are trying to get a shooter to plug into their current core. The Grizzlies got a damn good offer. I mean, I don't blame the Grizzlies for taking this. 4 picks and a swap. I think that's light protected or something like that. And then you get KCP, who honestly, if KCP is able to find himself again, could be a solid starter for you. Obviously, he wasn't as great as, Orlando wanted to be last year, but if he turns into his Denver or Lakers KCP, you got a pretty good player to plug and play right away. But will that even matter? That's the question. We need to talk about this because since the Grizzlies have traded away Desmond Bane, does that mean Ja Morant or Jaren Jackson are next? I don't know if that, okay, so I will say right now, early articles that I decided to read this morning before I started recording this are saying that the Grizzlies are not looking to trade away Ja Morant or Jaren Jackson. Now, I do think that could just be GM speak and that it's entirely possible that these two still, or at least one of them, could be traded this offseason and the Grizzlies pivot in a rebuild direction. I think that is entirely possible. And right now they're just kind of playing their cards as, hey, we're not trading either one of them. But maybe they're telling the truth and they plan on maybe adding a different player to this team. I don't know. I guess for this rebuild, I'm going to stick with what they're saying. I'm going to believe that they plan on keeping Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson and try to make it work with these two. But I will tell you right now, it would not shock me in the slightest if that is just GM speak and one of these two or both of them are still traded this offseason. Because it almost could make a lot of sense for you. But we'll see. We'll see what the Grizzlies decide to do. So let's go to draft night. We got an extra pick, obviously. Or maybe it's our only pick now because I'm not even sure if the Grizzlies had a first before that. So no, they didn't. So we get the 16th pick from, obviously, the Orlando Magic. So we could look to make an early trade here right now, but I do think I'm just going to go ahead and draft this pick because it's a pick right outside the lottery. We might be able to find ourselves a good player if like Carter Bryant or whoever may be falls to us here. We could get ourselves a really good player. The Mavericks decided to pass on Cooper Flag and take Ace Bailey, so Cooper Flag is going to San Antonio, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Okay, so we, again, as I kind of named them, we have Carter Bryant here. We have Richardson, Ian Jackson, Danny Wolf, Colin Murray-Boyles. A lot of different ways to go about this, but if you're Memphis and Carter Bryant's still on the board at 16, I think you'd take him. So I'm going to go ahead and take him, not look back, feel really good about that selection, and then we can kind of look at our other options here. So we can go Kalkbrenner, and then I'll let the assistant GM take the other one, because I don't really know much about the late prospects. I barely know anything about the first-round prospects. So Carter Bryant, Kalkbrenner, and Miles Bird will be our draft picks, and then player options, nothing going on there. Qualifying offer, Santi Aldama. It'll be interesting to see what he gets in real life. Can't wait to see. I guess it's not that I can't wait. We'll see what happens. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm so excited to see Aldama's extension. But still, can we extend Jaren Jackson? Speaking of extensions, is he willing to sign one right now? He is not. Okay. Because like I said, we're going to try to rebuild with Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson going forward. We're going to try that. We're going to see how it goes with no Desmond Bane on the roster, which is going to make things very interesting. So, you still have Scottie Pippen, so I would assume that Cole Anthony is eventually rerouted in another trade, just because I think it would make more sense, but I guess maybe there is a potential that the Grizzlies have plans for him. I guess we'll just kind of have to see. We kind of have a full rotation if we want to stick with this, but I do think I want to sell off Cole Anthony for an extra asset, because I want to stick with Scottie Pippen, who is on just an incredible contract. We could wait, though, and maybe explore KCP and Cole Anthony at the trade deadline. And maybe there's like something we could do there. So maybe that's the best plan of action. As far as Aldama is concerned, I might let him hit. I honestly might let him walk, unfortunately, because I don't really want to pay him that much money. We have a couple of guys that we've drafted that we're excited about. That GG Jackson can crack the rotation next year. And then you got Carter Bryant. So I actually think I'm going to go ahead and let him get paid somewhere else, unfortunately. So I'm going to renounce basically everybody here. So we're going to renounce, yeah, everyone. So Aldama can get a new contract somewhere else. And I don't think I'm going to sign a single player in free agency. I kind of want to just roll with this because we kind of have a full-time rotation. I want to kind of evaluate how the team does with no Desmond Bane, because the Grizzlies in particular, just like kind of the Magic that I talked about yesterday, the Grizzlies are never usually a good sim team in 2K that I've noticed. So with Desmond Bane gone, does that make it different? You'd think it wouldn't, but you'd be surprised. If you played 2K, some of the weirdest things that like you can change about the team, like just improve the team for whatever reason. So with that being said, we're going to go look at the rotation for year one. And I think at the deadline with those extra draft picks that we have, along with KCP's and Cole Anthony's contracts, we may look into, you know, adding that third piece that we just had with Desmond Bane, but replacing him with someone else. We'll see what's available at the deadline, if there's anything at all, but we'll look at the rotation first. I will say Power Rank has us 13th overall, which isn't too bad. We're 3.5 proficiency, and here is your starting lineup. So I think I'm going to leave things the way they are. That way KCP does start, because I think KCP, if the Grizzlies roll with what they're going to roll with this year, I think KCP definitely could be starting. What did I just click? I don't even know what I just clicked. That is not what I meant to do. Hopefully the game doesn't crash on me now. It's going to, isn't it? No, which reminds me, I need to turn autosave on, because if this game decides to freeze on me, we can't come back. So let's make sure we don't run into that again. Okay, so let's go to the rotation. So John Morant, KCP, Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson, Zach Edey, Clark, Scottie Pippen, Gigi Jackson, and Cole Anthony, and then Jay Huff. And then you got Vincent Williams. I don't think I'm going to go 11 deep. I think we're going to go 10 deep and also shrink bench utilization down. And I think I'm cool with that. And as far as shot tendencies are concerned, John Morant and Jaren Jackson, those are both very high. We're going to leave that the way it is, and we're going to evaluate how this team does. I'm hoping this team is a playoff team, because if the Grizzlies are going to run forward with these two guys, it'd be really justified if this team was good. But again, Grizzlies, I've noticed, have not been a great sim team in the past, but not shock me in the slightest if we're under 500 at the deadline. So just as I thought, we're 21 and 29 at the trade deadline. Does it really make sense for me to buy here with a team that's under 500 as the 13th seed in the West? To me, it does not. If the Grizzlies find themselves 21 and 29 at the deadline, I think we might pivot, man. I said I was going to try to stick with John Morant and Jaren Jackson, but don't know if I could really justify it right now. Jaren Jackson is about to get paid, like I said. They're both incredible players, don't get me wrong, but if we decide to pivot and trade them, I think the value we could get could be incredible. I don't know why, man. It just seems like the Grizzlies are just not a good sim team, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't work. So I think we're going to go ahead and trade both of them, man. I wasn't going to, but I just can't simply justify rolling with this going forward. So I think we'll whatever trade we do with John Morant will be kind of a trade override situation, because you guys know when superstar trades happen, there's a lot of value. In 2K, it's hard to replicate that realistically. It really is. So Jaren Jackson, I think I'll just try to use the trade finder for, since he's expiring. Still a great player, but I guess let's go ahead and start with the Jaren Jackson trade. We're 8 games under 500. I think it makes sense. Although I need to figure something out. Do we even have our own 2026 pick? Because I don't even know. So apparently we don't. Maybe it's, I don't know. The 2026 swap is so confusing because of how many teams are involved with it. So I don't truly know. Maybe we don't even have our 2026 first. So where is it at? So I guess it's with the Hornets. I guess in whatever way with this swap, we should be getting our pick regardless. So if I'm not mistaken, and hopefully I don't read this wrong, I do believe we should be able to tank and get a high pick because of this selection right here. But I could be dead wrong in that approach. I don't know. It's confusing, like I said. But we're going to go ahead and trade them, like I said. I think it only makes sense. We got to do something here. So I think I'm liking this trade with the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're going to be sending Jaren Jackson to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Isaiah Hartenstein's expiring contract. And we could low-key go ahead and accept that as well if we wanted to in that team option. We get a 2026 unprotected Clippers pick that looks like it might turn into a lottery pick this year. So to me, this is a no-brainer. We're going to go ahead and make this happen. There was an interesting offer from the Pelicans as well. We got DeJounte Murray and the Bucks pick. That pick could have been really good too. But unfortunately, we would have had to trade our 2027 first, and then we would have had to acquire Murray's salary. So I decided to go with that instead. So where we should have a Clippers lottery protect. Hartenstein could also be turned into a first rounder, in my opinion, in the future too. So to me, that was a no-brainer. And now it's time to turn our attention to John Morant. So we're going to attempt to trade John Morant here. He's having an incredible season, so we should get a bunch of value for him. We're going to be filling out every trade slot possible, get as many picks as possible, and make things happen for John Morant services. All right, so I kind of have a 3-team trade cooked up here with the Nets and Pistons. So basically, John Morant's going to be headed to the Brooklyn Nets, where we're going to get Igor, Ben Seraph, 3 firsts, and another first from Detroit as well, where the Pistons are also going to acquire Cam Johnson for Tobias Harris is expiring. So we get Tobias Harris is expiring into 2027 unprotected. So I'm feeling good about this. We do have to trade our second-round picks, but they're just, guys to fill out the roster because 2K won't let me make this trade without being able to, fill out the roster. You get the point. But I like this trade, and this is the pivot we're going in, so we're going to make this trade go through, and that is going to be the direction we go in. So we get 4 firsts for John Morant and a couple of young prospects, and John Morant was having an incredible season. He has to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's actually got kind of an interesting team right now after that trade too, by the way, because they signed Randall and also Naz Reid. So I guess John Morant could be kind of an interesting piece for them going forward, but that is a done deal. So we should be able to tank the rest of the season. That is the game plan. So again, I came in this video originally trying to want to build around Morant and Jaren Jackson, but I just simply couldn't justify it. We're going to just be happy with that, and we'll see what the team is looking like at the end of the season. I'm hoping to tank as much as possible, get a high lottery pick here, and maybe win the Age of the Bands of sweepstakes, but we'll see if that's the case. So Shea wins MVP, Ace Bailey is your Rookie of the Year, Anthony is your 6th man, Giannis is your Defensive Player, Evan Mobley Most Improved, and Booker's your Clutch Player, and Tom Thibodeau is your Coach of the Year. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first team, All-Defensive second team. So we ended up as, well, obviously we were bad, but here were your end of the season stats. So you had 14 from Demon, 13 from Cole Anthony, 12 from Pippen, 11 from Harris, 11 from G.G. Jackson, and 10 from Brandon Clark. So let's go ahead, simulate these playoffs, and we'll see who goes on with the championship. Brooklyn, by the way, got eliminated in round 1, and we traded, Jaren Jackson to the Thunder. They got eliminated as well, so that's kind of interesting. But okay, let's see who goes on to win the whole thing. Phoenix, what is Phoenix doing right now? Damn, all right, shout out to the Phoenix Suns. Obviously, I've not traded Kevin Durant as I'm recording this video. Not yet, anyway. Cavaliers beat the Spurs in 7. Very weird sim. Not seeing the Suns make the playoffs like that very often, so shout out to them. But let's go to the lottery, and let's see what our lottery luck is about to turn into. So I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully I read this right, we'll be getting our pick. We'll also have the Clippers pick, because I also wasn't paying attention to how they finished out, because we got a Clippers pick at the deadline, obviously. So let's see how they did. They were bad, too. So we got another lottery pick here. So it should have 2 lottery picks in theory. Hopefully I'm not wrong in thinking that. So, it says Hornets have her pick, but again, really hoping that's not true. And then I'm going to have to go figure it out if it does go to them, but let's see. So we also have the 8th best odds. So let's see where our luck, oh, wow. Oh, whoa. Oh, wow. Okay. That Jaren Jackson trade just turned into AJ DeBanza. That is insanely lucky. Never could have theorized that happening, but you know what? I'm a happy man right now with that approach. So we feeling good. We also could have had that Pelicans pick, but I think we traded for the right pick. I said I was tempted by the Pelicans offer for that Bucks pick, but we got the first overall selection. Wow, what an amazing turn of results. So we're going to keep our head coach for one more year because I do think the other candidates, I mean, while there are some good candidates here, I do think there's going to be some better ones next offseason. So we'll go with him for one more year, and then we'll kind of have our new coach next year. Okay, so this is kind of an obvious choice. We have 2 lottery picks now, which is beautiful. So we know we're doing number 1 overall. We're obviously selecting AJ DeBanza, and I even think twice about that. So that is done. We got our new franchise cornerstone, which I'm feeling good about how this rebuild's going so far. Arenas falling to us would have been amazing, but that doesn't happen, unfortunately. So we could go Mikael Brown, we go Caleb Wilson, we go like Chris Tanaka as well. So a lot of good options, or Yabusele, but I think with AJ DeBanza, we'll stick with, I kind of want to go Mikael Brown here. So I'm going to go Mikael Brown here at number 8 overall out of Louisville. So we're going to go with him. And we had an early second as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and take, we'll take Bryson Tilley here out of Auburn. 6'10 shooting guard, apparently. Is that what I saw that right? I don't know. So yeah, he is listed as shooting guard. Interesting. Okay, so Mikael Brown, AJ DeBanza, and Bryson, welcome. You got Hardenstein, which I do think I'm going to go ahead and accept that because I think I could turn Hardenstein into something else. And then Cole Anthony, I'm going to decline that as well. I'm going to let him go because I just don't know how much value he'd really have. So for free agency, obviously we have Cole Anthony, Tobias Harris who are free agents, but we're not worried about bringing anything back. So what is the new look of this team now? So we have Scottie Pippen, Igor, Mikael Brown, which is great. We have KCP, who's not going to be here long term, and then Kachar, Bryson, which I don't know if Bryson's going to return anything. Kachar's not here long term. So typically we have Ben and Mikael Brown or Igor as your kind of guards going forward. So we got 4 guards we feel good about. We got AJ Banza, Jalen Wells, which we love, Vince Williams, which he never really turns into anything special in 2K. So while he's here, not really a long-term piece for me either. I have Gigi Jackson, Carter Bryant. So keep forgetting about how the fact that we have Carter Bryant and we have Hardestein, who I do plan on trading this offseason because I know we can get something for him. So let's go ahead and check that out right now. But to me, we have a good-looking team right out of the gate already. So I'm looking to get a first for Hardestein if possible. So the Hawks want to give me a Cubby Buffkin. We get a Utah. Wow, they want to take on both our bad contracts. Well, Hardestein's not a bad contract. Well, you could debate whether or not it's a good contract, but he's a good player, right? Like, maybe he's overpaid a little bit, but he's still a damn good player. Jeremiah Fears would be awesome, too, but, man, that would be awesome, actually. Could we, man, oh, the Spurs want to give me Jeremiah Fears, a young prospect. I mean, they already have a lot of guards. Do we just do this? I think we got to, right? I think we have to, because maybe or we could go case. Well, no, we're going to trade Hardestein back to the Thunder. I think I am going to go ahead and do this one with the Spurs. We get Jeremiah Fears. I know we have a lot of guard prospects, but one of them's going to blossom, and we'll know who the guy is after that. We can, like, move on from the other guys. Yeah, I feel good about that. That is going to be our offseason. We're not even going to sign anybody either. So we're going to renounce Tobias Harris and Cole Anthony. We have our full rotation, and this is going to be kind of a rebuild reset year. And then again, one thing I need to look at, do we have our 2027 pick? Apparently not. Or no, we do. It's right there. So we have 4 2027 picks, which is awesome. So we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. So let's go to player progression, and let's see what player progression is looking like for some of these young players that we do have, like Carter Bryant, obviously Scottie Pippen here. He probably won't develop much. We got Igor. So you got Zach Edey up to an 86, Jalen Wells 83. You got Gigi Jackson 82, Igor's 81. You got Jeremiah Fears up to an 80. Clark is down. Carter Bryant's up. Jay Huff, Vince Williams, and got Ben Seraph up as well. So going to be an interesting rotation to figure out, but it will be figured out in due time. One thing we know for sure is AJ Banza is the player we're building around now going forward. It's so beautiful that we won that stimulation, because if we didn't, we would not be in the position we're in right now. So I got to release one player. It might low-key be Vince Williams, which I hate to do, but as I said, man, he never turns into anything that great. So we're going to release Vince Williams, and we'll go look at the rotation going into year number 2 with John Morant and Jaren Jackson gone, man. The powering is not obviously high on us. We're 26th overall. We got a lame duck head coach as well who won't be here long term. So you got Igor, Ben Seraph, you got AJ Banza, Gigi Jackson, Zach Edey, Jalen Wells, Jeremiah Fears, Scottie Pippen, Brandon Clark, and Carter Bryant. So that leaves Mikael Brown in the rotation for now, along with Jay Huff and then some of the other guys. So this to me looks fine. So the only thing I'm looking to figure out is how high is AJ Banza's shot tendency. So a 73. I think I'm cool with leaving it at 73 for now. He's going to, slowly develop into the player. I'm going to move it up maybe just a tad, but we'll go 80. We'll go 80 both positions, and we'll see what that turns into. All right, let's simulate year number 2. I'm kind of expecting another tank season, obviously, but in due time, this team is going to be probably good as soon as next year. I think this team could be a playoff team next year if our cards are played right. So Halliburton wins MVP at the end of year 2. AJ does get the Rookie of the Year nod, which is great to see. Wemby Defensive Player, Liam Most Improved, and Paul is your Clutch Player, and Mitch Johnson Coach of the Year. So here's John Bay first team. Now, the one thing I will say that we've done in this video is we've made the Spurs and the Thunder extra stronger. If they even kept those guys, which I don't even know if they did. The Thunder aren't even in the playoffs, which is just so stupid. But that's the 2K sim for you. But here are your player stats. You had 20, you had 17, 16, and then 13, and then 9. So all things looking kind of interesting, but we're about to go into this draft process with 4 picks. Now, I don't know how many of those are going to be lottery picks. Clearly, the Pistons went far, so that's not going to be a lottery pick. The Mavericks and the Pistons, and the Mavericks went on to win championships. So we're going to get like the, 29th pick? Or I guess, or 2K doesn't, or NBA doesn't base it off where you finished in the playoffs, I don't think. I think they base it off where you just finished in a regular season, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just check that out. So obviously, let's go to the lottery, and let's see how many lottery picks we're projected to get. I think I saw us twice. Oh, wow, 3 times. Well, that Philadelphia pick is actually top 10 protected, but there's a chance it stays at 11. We have third best odds. We have the Knicks pick as well, which is honestly insane that that's here. But man, we could get another top pick here. That would be beautiful. Let's see. And no, not quite. So we get 6, 8, and 11. So we got 3 lottery picks nonetheless. So 3 guys that can come in and be very helpful to this rotation. So we can't be too mad at it. Maybe we can make a trade with one of the top teams as well. We'll see. But jumping from 3 to 6 definitely sucks. And now we can bring our new head coach to lead this team going forward. So I am going to go after Tyronn Lue. So we'll start there. Now I will notice, I'm noticing we can't offer a ton of money. So would not shock me in the slightest if we don't land a single one of these coaches, because we can't even offer that much money. Yeah, nah, yeah. I'm not surprised by that. So, I think we go Billy Donovan again. Well, he is getting extended by the Bulls in real life, apparently, but he might be our best option. We can also offer Will Hardy, too, so let's see. The Billy Donovan steps. Will Hardy we could sign. I'm going to go Will Hardy. I think he's much younger, so Will Hardy's going to be our new coach of the Grizzlies. Now, with these three lottery picks, do we want to try to move up, or do we like what we have? So, we got Stokes. We got McCoy. We got Costanza, Anthony Thompson. I mean, I guess we just draft 3 guys. I don't really know. I know McCoy, and then Meek I don't know much about, and then Tyron Stokes I know is a stud. But all right, let's just draft with 3 lottery picks. So Stokes is gonna go to Chicago. New Orleans gets that guy, and then McCoy. So the top 3 guys go. Mingo goes, and you got Hugo going. Okay, so we can go Caleb Holt, who is All-NBA, Christian Collins, or Taj Ariza. I think I'm going to start with Taj Ariza because we don't even have a shooting guard prospect going forward. So, I mean, we do, but not one I'm that excited about. So we got Taj Ariza, and we got Caleb Holt, who is a good rebounder, it looks like. I mean, that's 1 game played, so who knows, actually. So I do think I'll go Caleb Holt here, 6'7" forward out of Alabama, and we'll take this last selection here. So now we got what? Stanza, Montgomery, or we can go like Diop down here. I think I might go Diop. I don't know. Let's just throw a dart throw at this pick. I mean, we have three lottery picks. We might as well try to use them. And then we had a late first 2, but the assistant GM took us Dwayne Ark. I don't know how to say that name. And we had a second rounder. But this doesn't look too bad, so I'm pretty happy with that. We got Zach Edey, Jalen Wells, Igor, Jeremiah Fears. I'm gonna decline Jay Huff, and then yeah, that's about it. And we'll probably decline Bryson, unfortunately, too. I just don't really know if there's gonna be a role for him on this team with how many guards we have already. So we have Kachar, Gigi Jackson, who is already a free agent, asking for $26 million. Damn, I'm not really sure. Why is he unrestricted, by the way? That's weird. I don't know. 2K sometimes just has rookie contracts all weird. But all right. So obviously kind of a logjam at the guard spot, but we'll figure that out in due time. Scottie Pippen probably won't be here long term, unfortunately. Ben Seraphin, Taj Ariza will be interesting what those guys turn into. Wells, DeBenza, and Caleb Holt, Carter Bryant, Diop, and then you got Zach Edey as the center alone. Okay, so I think I do want to sign a backup 5 that's worth a damn. So we can go like James Wiseman. We got Jalen Smith down here, Gogo Badaste, or Jackson Hayes, or there's Diabate. Stewart's also interesting. Or we could even throw a dart throw at Ousmane Deng at 6'9". I don't know. I mean, Ousmane Deng hasn't really played for the Thunder that much. Or there's Daron Sharp, who's my favorite backup 5s to get because he's so cheap. That is what we're going to do. So we're going to go 4-year deal on Daron Sharp and give him $9 million a year. We're also going to front load it to where it will be cheaper or be expensive start, and then we'll go down as we keep going. I think I do want to resign Gigi Jackson, but part of me doesn't because we just have so many guys that we're younger and that we're excited about. But I do think I'm going to end up resigning him if I had to guess. So I'm going to wait, though, because he is asking for quite a bit of money that I'm not sure I'm ready to fork over just yet. We're going to wait on Gigi Jackson, but I do want to be a part of what we're doing here. Still only 22 years old. Has 0 offers. Just going to make sure he gets no offers, and we should be able to get him back. Still nothing. Still nothing. Just want to make him for as cheap as possible. And we get to evaluate what guards are developing and what ones aren't. So we're going to go same thing here. $20 million a year. We'll go front load it again, and we'll see if he accepts that. He does. Okay. So let's go to player progression, and let's see what guards are developing, which ones are not. So we got Asia Band's up to an 88. Zach Edey is up. We got Igor up to an 84. Gigi Jackson, 84. Carter Bryant, 82. Fears did not move at all, but I do know there could be a huge development for him. So, I mean, this didn't really answer any of my questions clearly. We got 4 guards, but I think Scottie Pippen probably needs to be traded, man. Unfortunately, that's probably going to have to be what we do here. So let's start with that. Scottie Pippen, he's on an incredible contract, but there's just so many guards here that it's kind of unfair to him to not be able to play. We should be looking for at least a first if we can. So we got Maxwell Lewis in a first-round pick because he's such, well, I mean, should he be going for a first? I mean, he's a good player, but Maxwell Lewis, I mean, Miami wants to be D-Lo and a lottery-protected pick. Sure, we can do that. Why not? We can rock with that. So that's lottery-protected. Maybe it's heavily protected. D-Lo will not play a single minute for us if I have a say-so. But all right, year number 3 should be really interesting. I like where this team is headed, but it's just a matter of figuring out, you know, what it's going to look like. So already out of the gate, Power Rank has a 6th overall. So they are extremely high on us, which I'm a little surprised by, but maybe I'm not at the same time. I don't know. So 3.5 balance. Asia Banza should just, you know, highly put this team in a high trajectory. So Igor Dimon, Ben Seraph, you got AJ Banza, Gigi Jackson, Zach Edey, Jalen Wells, Carter Bryant, Jeremiah Fears, Mikael Brown, and that's the rotation. So you're leaving quite a bit of players out of the rotation entirely. Oh, where's Daron Sharp? Is Daron Sharp getting minutes? He is not, which I feel really bad about. So I'm going to get him some run here if we can. So that gives the minutes to Caleb Holt. But I'm going to go Daron Sharp because we need a backup 5 to back up Zach Edey. So we'll do something like that for this season. And what is AJ's shot tendency now? So it's an 85. So I have to presume that this team is about to get really good really fast. But we'll see if that is the case as we start off 3-0. So yeah, the team is getting good. I think we could at least be a play-in team this year. And then I think basically by this time next season, we'll be a top contender out west. Maybe even this year based off how things are going. Do we buy already at the deadline? An interesting question, but I might just roll with the young team still, and we'll debate whether or not to buy somebody at next year's deadline. So Jokic is your MVP, Stokes is a rookie of the year, Anthony 6-man in Portland, Wavy defensive player, Boozer most improved, and Edwards is a clutch player, and coach of the year goes to Mitch Johnson. So this team did take a nice path to a higher trajectory going forward, which is great. We wanted that. Here's your all-defensive first team, all-defensive second team. You got Mikael Brown making all-rookie first team, which is great. And here's your all-rookie second team. Westchester Knicks, Xavier Booker. We are a play-in team. So for the longest time, we held the first seed in the West. So I thought, man, this team is really good. But we fell off, unfortunately. So the plan is to see what play progression looks like for this team. And then we'll just plug whatever we need to plug and play, obviously. We'll just replace what we need to is what I meant to say. But we get the Warriors in round 1 of the play-in. So we're going to leave things the way they are and let simcast. So I don't know if we'll get into the actual playoffs or not, but even if we don't, it's no biggie, honestly. We aren't planning on winning a championship this year, but if we go far, it'd be a great sign, obviously. So 115 and 111, good start. Now we get to play the Denver Nuggets. Okay, so Denver, let's see what we can do against them as we have ourselves a lead right now, but they take it back. Do we ever get back in the game? No, but it's still, like I said, we still were able to play somewhat of postseason basketball. So you could be excited about that at the very least. You got the Mavericks and the Pacers, but by this time next year, I have to imagine we'll be a playoff team and maybe even a contender if we play our cards right. So let's go to the lottery and let's see if we got another lottery pick projected here. So I saw our name once and it's our own pick because we didn't make the play-in. So that's good. So let's see where that ends up. It'd be funny if we got number 1. The Spurs are going to add another top pick, which is insane. So we have another pick here. Is that it? So it looks like 2027 was our big year. So we have another lottery pick, which is great. So let's go see what we can do with that 13th pick, unless if we have another one that I didn't see. We have 23 as well from Orlando, so part of the Desmond Bane trade. Okay. I don't think I want to make any trades yet. Like I said, I want to continue to stack assets. So we should be able to pull off anybody at the deadline that we want, though. So I'm going to go King Gibson here, and we'll go to our, what was it, 23rd? Or, yeah, it was 23rd, I think. So we'll go to 23rd. We can get here. Didn't mean to click that right away. Okay, so we got Calvin McCaw. So I'll take him. Okay, out of Belmont. So with the amount of assets that we have, we should be able to pull off. I mean, we might need to buy this offseason, so where it's easier to make trades. Zach Edey is a free agent, so probably need to re-sign him, obviously. And then so is Jalen Wells, who's asking for $30 million a year. I mean, I love Jalen Wells, don't get me wrong, but $30 million is not something I can get to for Jalen Wells, I don't think. So we'll have to see what that turns into. But I'll renounce D'Lo, but Zach Edey right now is our starting center. So 2K, please don't make me renounce him. That would be kind of dumb. So Jalen Wells is somebody I do want to re-sign, but again, the money is quite expensive, and I think I'd rather spend $30 million on somebody else who can make an impact. Like, Wells can make an impact, don't get me wrong, but $30 million a year, man, I don't know. I'd get him for around 20, but if he doesn't want $20 million a year, I think I'd pass. So we're going to go 22. I think he'll take 22 a year. We'll go flat for that. He declines that. I mean, we'll try again. Maybe it's 3 years. We'll go 22. 22 flat. Maybe that won't. We go backload it then, maybe. Okay, so we'll go backload it, and then Edey. I'm gonna let him come back on his qualifying offer. I'm actually cool with letting Edey come back on his qualifying offer. So Wells will be signed, and Edey is back on his qualifying offer. Okay, so let's look at player development. So we got AJ Banza, and then Demons up to an 87. We have Fears up to an 85. Seraph up to an 85. 84 Mikael Brown. I mean, like I said, this team is just stacked with assets. We should be a contender this year, in my opinion. So I think we got to make some trades here because there's just too many guys that need to play. I think the most ideal thing to me would have to be having Zach Edey play a backup center role rather than being the starter. So we'll figure out the rest in due time. But yeah, this team is just way too good to roll with what we have. I think we need to consolidate some things. So let's go try to make a big trade right now. So I'm hoping to land Alex Sarr from the Washington Wizards. We should be able to get anybody we want in the league based off how much money we have going on. So I'm gonna have to have some salary filler in here, obviously somewhere. So we're gonna start with Taj Ariza, who has 3.5, 4.5 star value. We're definitely gonna be trading a good player away, just based off, you know, how many young prospects. We are just loaded, and I mean absolutely loaded with young prospects. So somebody's gonna be turned into a good player, and we're gonna regret it. But at the end of the day, we have just way too much going on here. So I think we trade one of the guards, though. I think it has to be Jeremiah Fears, which I hate to do, but Demon, I think, has taken the role here, and he's being a really good player, too. So I'm going to throw Jeremiah Fears in here. This should be enough to get Sarr, if I had to guess. So, yeah, we consolidate. Was that a lot to give up? Absolutely. Mikael Brown, though, has a lot more years left in his contract, so our guess is only after this. And then Ben Seraph is our 2-guard, which, I mean, he's 6'6". He averaged 11 points last year, so that's fine. And then you got Jalen Wells and Caleb Holt. You still have a lot going on to his power forward spot as well, but we can kind of move things around. But yeah, I think I like the Alex Sarr addition. So that's kind of, I guess, our only trade. We'll go look this rotation and have things figured out. But man, am I excited about what this year could be for us. I think we could be a contender this year. So here's a rotation going into the season. We got Dimon at the point guard, Seraph at the 2-guard. We got AJ DeBanza, Gigi Jackson, Alex Sarr, Zach Edey, Mikael Brown, Jalen Wells, and Carter Bryant, and then Caleb Holt as a rotation. And again, there's still a few guys not getting minutes that, you know, are good players. So we still have another trade in our back arsenal if we want to make another one. But I'm kind of hoping there's no need to. And I really hope this team can click on all cylinders and a championship could be won this year, because I do think that is entirely possible. What is AJ DeBanza's shot tendency? It's a 90 now. I'm going to go ahead and push it up to a 99. Let's just let him go absolutely crazy here. I'm also going to push Dimon's touch tendency down just a little bit. And then Alex Sarr's touch tendency will bring that maybe down just a tad bit as well. But Gigi Jackson, we can bring this down a little bit too. Yeah, so I like that. So we'll see what this turns into. 10th seed power rank. We start off 2-1. Right now, well, hopefully things turn around, because I really want to be a top seed in the West this year. We're hovering around 500 right now, but hopefully a win streak starts here soon. We'll be in a good spot going into the playoffs this year. So at the end of the season, Luka wins MVP. Paul is a Rookie of the Year. You got Mika winning 6-man, Wavy Defensive Player, and also wins Most Improved there as well. Paul is your Clutch Player, and Mitch Johnson, Coach of the Year, and Phillips is your Executive. So here's your NBA first team. We do get AJ DeBanza making it, averaging 26 and 9. Love to see that. And here's your all NBA third team, all defensive first team, and all defensive second team. All rookie teams. Yeah, we didn't have a rookie playing at all, unfortunately, but we end up as the 3rd seed in the West. So as I said, I want to be a top seed this year. We've absolutely accomplished that. So DeBanza and then Igor Dimon, 20 and 7. You had 16 from Sarr, 15 from Gigi Jackson, 14 from Brown, and 13 from Ben Seraph. So really like how this rotation's shaken out, but how far will they go in the playoffs, though, is the ultimate question. So let's see what the answer to that is. We get the Warriors, who have Carly Towns. So they usually get Jokic, but it's Cat this time. So if we lose to this team, I'd be obviously really disappointed, but let's see how this goes. Game 1 goes to them. Game 2 goes to them as well. Wow, we're down 3-0. What the hell? Why did we get swept like that? That team wasn't even that special. Wow, okay. Interesting. Well, did not really foresee that coming, but that is how the season went, I guess. Interesting. So Mavericks and Pistons. The Mavericks go on to win a championship. They keep winning. I think they've won like 2 or 3 this video. Man, I'm in utter shock. I cannot believe that's the way the season ended. So, with the 10th pick via the Nets from the John Morant trade, so that's nice. So we got Will Hardy still as the coach. I mean, should we fire him after that? I guess not. I was really looking forward to a deep playoff run, and I'm just utterly shocked that it didn't turn into that. So we have 4 first-round picks, and we have I think we got to make another trade here. 4 first. There's no need to add 4 prospects to this team. We just had that problem, so I think I'd like to upgrade the shooting guard spot. I like Ben Seraph, don't get me wrong, but Jalen Wells was playing out of position, which maybe hurt us. Maybe that's why the team was weird. So either the point guard, or sorry, the shooting guard or the power forward spot, I really want to upgrade. So that's the plan. Often use 2K's Trade Finder, but I was just trying to look for something quick so I didn't have to explore too much. And this one is pretty interesting to me. We get Jalen Johnson and Okongwu from Atlanta. We could trade the 10th pick, Jalen Wells. I think we do this, man. I mean, this upgrades us in both positions, technically. So, yeah, I think, or I guess Okongwu's a backup 5, but still, Jalen Johnson is the 4. We still got to figure out the 2-guard spot, although that's Ben Seraf's job right now. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. We don't need to add another prospect here, so now we have Seraf will have to re-sign. We got Jalen Johnson on the team now, who upgrades the power forward spot. Caleb Holt's going to probably step up this year at that 3. Carter Bryant maybe moves back to the 4, or Diop's ready. We'll see. Now you have Sar, which we don't have to re-sign Zach Edey anymore, which is good too. So, yeah, I like this. I think I'm cool with that. So now, let the assistant GM take care of the rest of these picks because they're all just kind of late. We'll sign all of them. And you got everyone here going to be accepted, obviously. And we just kind of need guys to continue to develop, basically. So, we're going to re-sign Demon and probably also Ben because we have to re-sign those guys. Those are done. And then Carter Bryant, I'd like to have back too. But Zach Edey probably can't be re-signed realistically, unfortunately. So Carter Bryant, I'm going to try to bring him back on his qualifying offer. And we're just going to hope that year number 5 is much better, or if this is year number 6, I don't know. But I was really disappointed about how that shook out. That sucked. So Carter Bryant's getting an offer sheet. I'm going to match it. It's only $14 million, so we'll do that. That's done. All right, so we got the bands up to a 92, Igor 89, 87 Mikael Brown, 86 Ben Seraf, 85 Carter Bryant, 83 Caleb Holt. And we could start Mikael Brown and Dimon if we wanted to. But I think I'll continue to roll with Ben Seraf as a starter. He's doing a fine job there too. All right, let's go into this next season. Hopefully the last one, man, because I think this team can win a championship. But we'll see, man. We got swept last year. Hopefully things go much better this time around because that sucked. The Flag wins MVP in a Spurs jersey. Mercer is your Rookie of the Year. Arenas is your 6th man Wemby Defensive Player. Holmes Most Improved. And Cade's your Clutch Player. And Mitch Johnson and Executive goes to to the Spurs. I don't know why it took me so long to say that. But we got Aged Advanza, All-NBA First Team, 25-8. So that's great. All-NBA Second and All-NBA Third. So no other All-NBA representatives and no All-Defensive teams either. But we end up as a 2nd seed. So we obviously got swept last year, and we may see the Warriors again this time, but hopefully we don't get swept by them, man. That was so weird. But 25 from Debanza, 19 from Demon, 15 from Mikael Brown, 15 from Sar, 14 from Ben, 14 from Jalen Johnson, and 12 from Carter Bryant. We're also going to be running into a problem if we don't win this year on how many players need to be paid, because I think there's a lot of guys that are going to be expiring, if I'm not mistaken. So we look at it, as you can see, we got Jalen Johnson, who's going to be expiring. We got Agent Banza, who needs to be paid. That's going to be a lot of money. Carter Bryant, Mikael Brown. So, like, it's probably very important that we win right now. So, hopefully we find a way to do that. We get to play the Jazz. So, it's not the Warriors this time. Maybe that's a good thing. But Utah, I mean, I can only hope that we win. So, 1-0 start, 33 from Agent Banza. Game 2, 2-0. So far, so good. Alex R with 34 in that one. Okay, this is looking more promising. We deliver the sweep this time instead of getting swept. That's good. The Warriors are on the Spurs case as well. Let's see. Do they beat? No. It's going to be Minnesota against us. So the Spurs are going to beat the Warriors. Okay. So we get Minnesota in round 2, who have, I'm assuming, obviously, still Anthony Edwards. We got Dylan Harper. How the hell did they pull that off? Wait, what? Or no, he just signed with them. Okay, that makes sense. I was going to say, well, how the hell did they draft Dylan Harper? But okay, so he left Philadelphia and signed with Minnesota. So that's kind of scary. We also have Jaren Jackson, so nice pickup there. And we got, I don't even know who that center is, but okay. So this is going to be a tough series, I can see. So hopefully we're locked in. So game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3 to us. Game 4 goes to us. Beat them in 5. Come on. Let's go. We're on to the conference finals. Okay, so much better than last year. But now we get to play the dreadful San Antonio Spurs. Oh my gosh, look at this. What the hell is this team? We got Stephon Castle, Baba, Flag, Chet Holmgren, Wemby. There's zero chance we beat this. The only way that we beat this team is if 2K reads them as they have too many guys that need the ball in their hands or something, which is just, I don't know. So let's simcast game 1 because this is going to be very tough to win. I mean, look at this first team that we're staring in the face. Wow, yeah, they're going to blow us out in game 1. What is life, man? What is this freaking team I'm looking at right now? We steal game 2 though. I mean, we do have the lead right now. Just don't blow it. Wow, we still game 2. Okay, well, we won on our home floor. We just got to win at least once on our home floor, and it goes back tied. But it'd be great if we won both our home games. That would be even better. But gonna be close. Can we steal it at the end? Overtime? No, we lose. Okay, so we got to win this next one, or we are in deep trouble, because I don't think we can compete with this team if we don't. After being down 3-1, we are slowly trying to creep back into it. We're going down 3-1. So 143 to 118. We got Brooklyn awaiting us, who no longer have John Morant. Wow, okay. Well, we have to come back from 3-1, and I don't foresee that happening, but we'll give it the best shot, right? So let's see if we got what it takes to come down from 3-1, and we are going to win game 5, I think. So yeah, we did win that one, so we just got to win game 6, and hey, game 7 is going to happen, so we just got to win on our home floor in game 6. Seems simple enough, but the Spurs are that team that, you know, is very deadly. We have the lead right now. And we have forced a game 7. Wow, okay. We are not dead. We are not dead. So game 7 on the road in San Antonio. Can we take the lead and hang on to it? Wow, we are in the lead right now, but they are going to take it back here at the end. We have a nice lead with 4 minutes left. Just don't blow this 13-point lead. We might have done it, guys. How did we blow, or how did they blow a 3-1 lead on us, dude? I have no idea. Wow, the fact we got past them is actually crazy. Shout out to Asia DeBanza, and I get to play the Nets. And watch, the Nets are going to sweep us or something based off, you know, probably going through hell to get back in that series. I cannot believe we just came back in that series. Whatever. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, we beat them in 5. Let's go, baby. Wow. I thought we were dead. Asia DeBanza's finals MVP, but the San Antonio Spurs, for whatever reason, blew a 3-1 lead against us. Don't know why, but I'm not even going to question it, and that is how this video is going to end. So this team was very interesting, to say the least. What do you guys think is going to happen in real life for the Grizzlies? Are they going to trade John Morant and Jaren Jackson, or are they going to continue to build with those two? I am predicting that those two will be traded. That is my prediction. That is what my gut is telling me, but we'll see. I just think it makes more sense. We'll see what happens. Thank you all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.